Okay, here's how this can work. As the windblown silt covers them up, the permafrost is forming, especially late in the Ice Age, and it's forming and getting deeper and deeper in the ground. The dust that forms on these animals, the permafrost comes up from the ground, and also the cooling comes down from the top, so the windblown silt freezes pretty fast to help preserve them to this day. The standing position, the suffocation, the broken bones can be caused by huge dust storms. You'd expect monstrous dust storms once in a while. And to understand this, I went to information on the Dust Bowl era in the 1930s in the Midwest, where you had huge dust storms. Some of these dust storms in the Midwest covered up fences, machinery, and sometimes covered up barns or houses clear to the roof. This is how I believe you can explain the condition of some of the carcasses. They were out eating what they could, and suddenly the wind picked up. They turned their back to the wind. Then that strong, dry cold front comes through, and the wind whips up, and the visibility goes to zero, and the silt starts packing up around them. They act like a snow fence in a blizzard, and dust will pack like snow hard, and once you get stuck in it, you can hardly move. And so as it piles up around them, he breathes this dust, and they suffocate, and they end up not being able to move or fall down, and they end up in a general standing position. And trying to extricate themselves out of the dust that's packing around them, they can easily twist their leg bones and break them by shearing or torsion force. Now, we have evidence that this could easily happen, because at Hot Springs, South Dakota, we have an ancient sinkhole, or an Ice Age sinkhole, where we have about 100 mammoths, some of them woolly mammoths, most of them Columbian mammoths. And the sinkhole filled up with windblown silt and is now a kind of a mound. Some of those mammoths have broken limb bones, and Larry Eggenbrod, the chief United States expert on woolly mammoths, says that about the only way that can happen is by twisting, trying to extricate themselves out of mud. Well, the same thing would happen with woolly mammoths trying to get out of solid, packed, windblown silt all around it. So you can explain the broken limb bones that way. But what about the broken pelvis and ribs? Here's how I believe this happens. Once the woolly mammoth was totally interred within the windblown silt, covered up, and the permafrost has come up to meet the woolly mammoth and frozen from the top, he ends up in the permafrost. But permafrost is known to fault and shift. It can shift up to 50 feet sometimes. And this is how they can break the ribs and bones. After they're already in there, the permafrost can shift and break the pelvis and rib bones while they're in the permafrost.